Hello YouTube, this is Carrie, and I have a story to tell you today. Alright, so after my video where I was having kind of a hard time emotionally, and I posted the following: am I ever going to see a girl in the mirror? Well, I don't know how many of you caught this, but there was a rather not nice response that I got. And, well, basically it was somebody who has been posting pretty much these exact responses on every single one of my other videos, and in this case the response was, quote, "Am I ever going to see a girl in the mirror? No, buddy, you're not. Know why? Because you are a man. That is your nature. You are naturally male. Own it. You can't go against nature." And I did something very uncharacteristic of myself. I hit the ban button. Because here's what I realized. You can't please everyone. And by allowing those comments to get to me, I was being an enabler. So, in my previous videos, that's exactly what I did. I tried to use logic and reason and explain, well, this is why I'm trans, and this is why, you're wrong, and a predictable thing happened. Basically, every time I posted that, the guy completely ignored me and continued to spam my videos with his hateful bullshit. So, I'm kind of glad that he actually did post that again on this video, because it taught me something. I can't please everyone. And, this might be an important thing for me to realize, because I think this is common with a lot of girls, that, they spend their lives trying to just be perfect, to make everybody happy. And, when anybody disagrees with us and anybody socially rejects what we're doing, it kind of hurts. So, this was one of those cases, but it kind of taught me, there's a reason why I keep getting people like this on my videos. It's because, I'm fun to pick on, because, they are using unrational, unlogical reasonings that are just based on their half-assed opinions, and, they want me to be offended, and they want me to, just try to use logic and reason against them when they're completely not listening to me, and they want me to keep being offended and keep trying to do that. It bothers them because they can twist it in there, and, I just keep taking it. So, basically, I realized, what's not being an enabler? Ban. I decided, there is a certain point where people are just wrong. I mean, alright, so, this guy thinks that somehow I'm going to get over being trans by becoming a guy again. It's like, who the hell do you think you are? I mean, this is what gets me, is that, the people who have problems, they don't know shit. They don't know the psychological associations. They don't know the World Association for the Treatment of Transsexuals. It's like, in these studies, people actually have tried for 50-plus years every form of therapy to help trans people. They've tried electroshock therapy. They've tried reparative therapy. And, it didn't work. They, in the most recent standards of care, and it actually says that any attempt to change someone's gender identity through reparative therapy is inherently unethical, because they did studies where basically immediately after the reparative therapy, the people reported that they were better, that they were, quote, over their trans desires, but feelings of shame went up, and feelings of suicide went up, and feelings of isolation, and, those went up, and anxiety and social withdrawal, those went up. And I can tell you, I've been through all of those. And this is what really bothers me about these negative comments, is just that anybody who's saying that, you don't know me. You don't know the shit that I've gone through in my life. And I can tell you, I tried being a man and just getting over my trans desires, all right? Basically, when I was 14 years old, and when I was 13, middle school age, I was very gender nonconforming. I wore short shorts. I sang soprano in choir, unashamedly. And I acted in a very effeminate manner. And I pretty much got made fun of for it every single day. And I was experiencing gender dysphoria at this time. I knew I was envying girls. I knew I was hating all of the things that were happening to me because of puberty. You know, I was just constantly at war with my body. But at that point, rather than suck it up and actually go to a therapist about it and ask, what can I do? Or, you know, just admit that I felt I was trans and, you know, I'd like to get on hormones and attempt transitioning, I took the wrong path. I decided to repress it. I decided that the happiness of others and not offending others was more important than what I knew about myself. And so I basically detransitioned. I started wearing long shorts just like every other guy. I started acting just like every other guy. I stopped talking about my trans desires to anyone. The one time that I did tell a group, I got laughed at. And you know, I actually became a Christian, you know, a conservative, fundamentalist, well, okay, not conservative, I was always more liberal, but, you know, I went to a Baptist church, and I was a religion major in college, and this is all because I was trying to pray away my trans desires. You know, I was living for everyone else. I was saying, you know, I can't be a freak, I can't be this, I can't be that, I have to be normal. And so I tried, and tried, and tried. And in college, it just led to this constant feeling of anxiety, this constant feeling of failure, because no matter how many times I tried to pray them away, no matter how many times I tried to not be trans, to not want to be female anymore, they always came back, worse than ever, and they kept getting worse and worse. Until finally, at age 27, I finally said, you know what, I can't deny it anymore. I have to get on hormones. I cannot stand seeing a male in the mirror anymore. I can't stand seeing, you know, this heavy muscular brow in the mirror anymore. I can't stand seeing this gross, disgusting body hair on myself anymore, you know. I knew I had to transition. It was the only way that I could do it. And as a guy, I had everything that I thought I would need to be happy. At the point that I started transition, I had an excellent job. I was working full-time at a casino making $45,000 a year. I had a house with my girlfriend, and again, I had a girlfriend, and, you know, through high school, there was kind of this hope in my head that, well, you know, maybe once I actually can get close to a girl and, you know, be in a relationship, these thoughts will go away. Well, they didn't. And, you know, I basically had everything that I thought I would need to be happy when I listed in my head, okay, as a male, as society wants me to be, what would I need to be happy? I reached a point where I had it all, and I still wasn't happy. I was still miserable with my body. I still felt like it was wrong. I still felt like I was trapped and there was nothing I could do about it. So again, those of you who are trying to judge me and tell me all I have to do is be happy as a guy, and trying to tell me that, you know, what I'm feeling is wrong, just based on some half-assed conjecture based on seeing me on the internet for like 3 minutes. Fuck you. You don't know me. Alright? You don't know the shit that I've gone through. You don't know what I dealt with. You don't know how I tried already to repress it and tried being a guy and it didn't work. And you don't know how, as soon as I went on hormone replacement therapy for the first time in my entire adult life, I felt alive again. I felt like I could feel emotions again. I felt alive and active with the world again. So yeah, you know what? I'm not being an enabler anymore. There are some times where people are just wrong. And again, the World Association for the Health of Transsexual Persons has tried everything, and they consider reparative therapy unethical. So, you know, if you just have to reach a point where you realize you can't please everyone. And there are people in my life who are never going to be happy with me being trans. My dad is one of them. He's always going to see me as, his son. He admittedly, when, his big issue is he took great pride in introducing me to people as, this is my boy, and, but there's nothing I can do about it. That's all I can say. And, you just have to realize you can't please everyone. And I know, with this channel, I'm never going to please everyone, Just look at every transgender video on YouTube. Every single one of them has a ton of dislikes just because it is about trans topics and just because a few ignorant people are like, ew, trans, yeah, kill it if it comes near me. So, and this is especially important because I just saw this topic on Susan's transgender forums about this person who came on saying, well, I want to transition, but I have to be completely stealth because I just read this story about Laverne Cox and all of these hurtful editorials about how Laverne Cox is a man and, this other story that's about how, well, discrimination is normal and healthy, gender confusion is not, which cited this renegade fundamentalist Catholic psychologist who, in the 1970s, figured out that, did this study on outcomes of SRS and thought that it wasn't good, and which has since been disproven, and yet these people posted the story anyway. So, again, people are just so quick to criticize without fact-checking, and, there comes a point where they're just wrong, and you have to know, this is who I am, this is what I've been through, and, I've been to a therapist appointment and she agrees with me. I've, gotten my name and gender changed legally in the state of Ohio. So anybody telling me that I'm a man, guess what? The state of Ohio and our government disagrees with you. So fuck you. And, but yeah, again, and this person was saying, well, I have to be stealth because I don't want to have to deal with these people who are criticizing my femaleness. You know what? I'm sorry. People are always going to criticize your femaleness, and it's not your fault. It's their fault. It's because they don't know what the hell they're talking about, because they haven't studied this. Hell, they probably never even met an actual trans person in real life, or they did and they didn't know about it because they, they're used to this image of trans people being freaks. So, excuse me. I kind of realized there's a point where I have to be convicted with myself, and I have to love myself, and my conviction has to come from that sense of self-love and not of trying to please everyone. And I did this all throughout my childhood and early adulthood, and I'm still kind of trying to learn that I can't please everyone, and that the person that matters is me, because I know me, and, Anyway, this has been veering off, but you get the point. Anyway, bye.